Hello, my name is Beverly Allen. Welcome to this week's edition of Local Time. My guest today is Matt Hussmann. Matt is the Executive Director of the Clarendon Alliance. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Wonderful. So, for those of us who are not familiar with the Clarendon Alliance, and I'm going to refer to it as CA throughout our discussion, tell us about the Alliance and its role in the community.
The Alliance has actually a long history in Clarendon. It is a partnership organization like CPRO, Columbia Pike Revitalization Organization, what used to be called Rosslyn Renaissance, and there was a Boston partnership as well. Those were all formed really in the 1980s as economic development tools. And we all worked on similar things. We were all involved in the development of the various sector plans for each of those neighborhoods. And we were set up to help carry those sector plans out. And so since the 80s, I mean, it's been 30 years, it's a huge generation. And obviously a lot of that work that was planned when Metro was going through and so on has been completed. And so our missions have evolved, I think, over time from development, and now we are more about building quality in the neighborhoods through events, through activities, being a facilitator of activities and communication within our neighborhoods.
That's wonderful. Now, in terms of, tell us what are the top three goals of the Alliance. You mentioned that your mission has changed over the years. What are the top three goals, you would say?
Well, I think our goals are to continue, one, the plans of the sector plan. I mean, we're still not built out in Clarendon. There are projects underway. There are more potential sites that will be developed, and we want to ensure that those developments fit in with the community. That's a traditional goal of ours. Second, as the neighborhood has changed, we want to do events and activities that continue to support the neighborhood feel of Clarendon. Clarendon was Arlington's original downtown. And downtowns have evolved over the years, but Clarendon has always been a community, and I think doing the events that we do help bridge together, the business community and our neighbors in ways that, respect the tradition of Clarendon as the original downtown. And thirdly, I think our challenge is to evolve as an organization to recognize that technology has changed, that our demographic mix has changed, that the way people consume information and shop and get to work has changed, and to continue to facilitate that in ways that strengthen our neighborhood.
That's wonderful. Now, for residents and businesses who may not be familiar with projects that the Alliance has performed over the years, give us some examples of projects that are as a result of the Alliance's initiatives.
Well, that's, again, I've been the director here now going on 5 years, and a lot of the history of the Clarendon Alliance, well, the more contentious history, is before my time.
Okay.
And I'll give you a really interesting example, which is Market Common.
Yes.
That shopping area. So years ago in the sector plan, that was not even in the sector plan. It was, I'm told, it was actually a dairy farm way back in the day.
Really?
And there was a proposal by Home Depot to build a Home Depot on that site. And this is before Metro, et cetera, and during the Metro era. And it was very contentious in the neighborhood. And the Clarendon Alliance was involved in that project whether it should be built or not, because I'm told it could have been built by right. I mean, it was in development for a number of years, but in the end of the day, the Clarendon community decided, you know, a Home Depot on Clarendon Boulevard is not exactly the right project for this site. And instead, McCaffrey Interests, which is a development company out of Chicago, came in and built what we see today. And it was really, literally, one of the first mixed-use developments in the country, which combined shopping and housing and recreational areas in a site.
Very interesting, yes.
And it's been obviously a very successful development, and it just goes to show that community involvement generally leads to good decisions.
Absolutely, because that sounds like a walkable community, which is all the rage right now.
But remember, at the time, you couldn't get financing to build a project like that because it was a brand new idea.
Yes.
Now, you know, going back 100 years, of course, you had, you know, retail and housing above.
Yes.
It's not, you know, I mean, that has been done. But then in the area of shopping centers, you know, oftentimes the zoning plan didn't allow it.
Is that right?
Yeah, you know, it's like, we can't do that. We're building malls. And that's what was being built at the time. And McCaffrey came up with a development proposal that says, no, we're going to mix this up. We know the metro's going to be here. This is part of the smart growth strategy. We want people living here. We want people shopping here. We want people using the metro. And they designed it. They built it. And again, it was one of the first in the country and a very successful project. It's actually taught in, you know, real estate schools.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Very good. So that sounds really exciting. So tell me, who can join the alliance? Are individuals allowed to join, or
anybody
companies?
who has a demonstrated interest in Clarendon can join, and residential members are welcome. It's $20 a year. Businesses are welcomed, obviously, and the membership rate depends on the number of employees. And for real estate, members are also welcome, owners or brokers, and their membership rates depend on the amount of property they own in the Clarendon area.
Okay, I see. Now, one of the things, in doing some background, I learned that some of your funding comes from the government, the local government, but mostly you get funding through events that you sponsor throughout the year.
We do events, and we hope to raise money when we do them.
Right.
You know, if it rains on Clarendon Day, it may not be great. Okay. But yeah, actually our events have grown over the years. We've added new events. We've added new things since I've been here. Clarendon's historically done the Clarendon Day event in the fall and the Mardi Gras Parade, which is its own thing because of the weather. It's February, and it snows in February. But you know, the idea behind Clarendon Day is, one, I mean, it's at least 20 years old, and it may go back beyond that. And it's just it's just a community fall festival. Like, you know, I'm from the Midwest, and you know, towns had them, and you know, we do them, and we've done one in Clarendon for a long time, and you know, it's great. I mean, it's free. We've got 4 stages of music. We've got really good music this year, as always. In the last 3 years, we've been working with a gentleman named Anders Thusen from Songwriters and Poets, which is an organization that's in D.C. and regional. And it's really a collection of musicians, poets, artists, and so on. And he has helped us up our music game quite a bit. So again, 4 stages of music. A lot of local restaurants will be serving food. A number of local businesses will exhibit. There are other exhibitors. We have a big and nice arts and crafts selection. There's a kids area where, you know, we got the climby toys and the bouncy toys and,
yes.
and that stuff. DC United will be here. They're going to do their, you know, soccer kick-a-rama thing for the kids.
Okay. We actually have some footage from last year's festival. And how about if we take a look at that footage and we can talk about continue to talk about some of the events.
That'd be great.
And some crowd favorites.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll roll footage.
Hell yeah! I knew from the very beginning, Lord, what you had in mind. Said to myself, baby, now baby, look at here. You're just wasting your time.
Together for y'all, little Mazio.
So there you have some footage from last year's festival. So this year, in fact, before we get to that, I understand that this is the county's biggest event, biggest festival. Is that in terms of the number of people who attend, or?
Well, it's Clarendon's biggest festival for
Clarendon's,
sure. I mean,
okay.
it would. I think the Taste of Arlington people up in Boston would say, "Oh, I don't know."
Okay.
So and honestly, it's hard to estimate crowds.
Okay.
But our footprint's big. It's crowded. People enjoy coming, and for a lot of reasons. I mean, great food, great craft beer, wines,
Great music.
great music, and so you know, it's just a fun way, you know, just spending a nice Saturday afternoon.
It's wonderful. Are there any crowd favorites from last year who you know that may be returning this year?
You know, yeah, many of the vendors have been coming for years.
Okay.
And so I don't want to pick particular favorites,
Okay.
but yeah, people return year over year. In terms of music, one of the things Anders does is brings new music every year.
Okay.
And so actually, sometimes they're repeat, but they do it in a different way. Justin Trawick has been here before, but he's now We Are the Nine, which is kind of a collaborative effort he's doing with different musicians, different styles. He plays with different people over the course of the afternoon, and it's really
that sounds
interesting and good
interesting,
show.
yes.
Yeah. The DC Chili Cook-Off that we've added in the last 3 years is a crowd favorite because we raised money for charities. This year it's going to be for the Kidney Society, which has historically been their charity of the DC Chili Cook-Off.
I see.
And, you know, it's nice because what happens is it is just such a down-home thing. These are contestants. And they actually, really, there's the International Chili Society, which many people may not know.
Right.
But they actually have an annual contest, and the winners here get entered into that contest.
Is
so
that
they can
right?
compete nationally.
They're automatically entered.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, and there's 3 different, there's red chili, there's green chili, and there's salsa. would be the 3 contest areas
Okay.
that they compete at. They cook it all on site, and these are people that come in, they bring their own ingredients. The food inspectors, of course, come out to make sure everything's cool.
Of course.
And there's a judge contest.
Okay.
And but the chili contestants also, on their own dime, make what they call homestyle chili, and offer tastings to people at Clarendon Day.
That sounds wonderful.
And you know, people say, this is great. I'm going to donate $1 to the Kidney Society.
Very good. Now, so we talked about the events and vendors and the 4 different stages, and that's great for attendees. How about if you're a vendor or an exhibitor and you want to participate? Is there still time to sign up?
You know, there barely is.
Okay.
Yes. And the website is clarendonday.org.
Okay.
And actually it redirects to our website, but that's the easy one to remember.
Very good.
And the Twitter is Clarendon Day, and the Facebook is Clarendon Day. So there's lots of ways to get information about the event.
Wonderful. Now, how about volunteers? Do you need volunteers?
Yes,
and if
ma'am.
so, in what areas?
We need volunteers through the course of the day. I mean, we do sell beer and wine, and
Okay.
we need people to help pour. We need people to help sell tickets. We need people to do wristbanding. There's setup and breakdown activities. And there is a volunteer registration form on the Clarendon Day website.
Okay.
So just look on the right-hand side, scroll on down, and there it is. And
Okay.
sign up. And actually, if groups want to participate, we're willing to work with them as well.
Very good. Now, you mentioned that the event is free, but you also said tickets.
Yes.
So tickets are required.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can go listen to music for free, you
Okay.
can walk around for free. If you want to buy a beer, you got to buy a ticket. If
I
you want
see.
a glass of wine, you got to buy a ticket.
Okay.
If you want to buy food from a restaurant, you got to buy the food.
I see.
So, and that's it's just the way the event has been run, and it's a reason why people want to participate, because the restaurants, we charge a fee because the event costs us tens and tens of thousands of dollars to produce. I mean, our rental bills, our police bills, our
okay.
trash bills, et cetera, are not insignificant to put on an event like this.
Okay.
We love to have sponsors. We need more.
Okay.
And it's still time to sponsor.
Very good.
But, the idea is the revenues we generate from Clarendon Day not only help the Clarendon Alliance, but we also, in addition to the Kidney Foundation, have 2 nonprofit partners that we support through this event. And one of them, interestingly, is Arlington Independent Media.
Oh, great. So
Yes.
definitely purchase tickets.
Absolutely. And so Arlington helps provide us with volunteers.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if we make money, AIM makes money.
Wonderful. Now, can tickets be purchased in advance from your website, perhaps?
Actually, we don't. Well, here's the thing. We don't sell beer tickets or wine tickets in advance, but we will this year for the first time be introducing VIP tent
Okay.
tickets. That's something that Taste of Arlington does. And so, well, let's copy that. And the downtown business
Yes.
is all about, I'm going to do that.
Sure.
And so that's coming up shortly. Our VIP tent sponsor is Saycraft Brewery,
Okay.
which is brand new in Arlington.
Okay.
And they're making their own beer. And
Oh.
they're going to have, we were on the phone tonight. I don't quite know what exactly they're going to be serving, but it's going to be 4 craft brews brewed at Saycraft in the VIP tent, and they're providing the food as well.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping to get that stuff up in the next day and a half or 2 days, as soon as I get the detailed information about what brews they're doing. But it's going to be their fall beers.
Okay.
And so this will be like a rollout party for them.
Great. And the festival is on the 16th of
17th.
17th of September.
Yeah, Saturday
so,
the 17th.
So there is plenty of time to go find that information.
Oh, yeah.
for
I mean,
attendees.
actually, the Clarendon Day website has a lot of information, and it will change in the next 2 or 3 days, because what we're doing at the first part, it's like, okay, everybody, let's get signed up.
Okay.
So, you know, exhibitors can register and sponsors can register. But those days are coming to a close, because now it's time for us to start running the event. And I want to showcase our exhibitors. I want to
Yes.
showcase our sponsors. I want to showcase the various things we have. And so over the next few days, we'll be changing out that website to really showcase our sponsors, our exhibitors, the arts and crafts people we're going to have, et cetera,
Great.
et cetera. So you'll be able to kind of scroll through and see who's going to be here.
Wonderful. Now, a number of street closures are going to be in place to accommodate the festival, because if memory serves, there are about 8 street blocks that are going to be closed off.
There's only, well, actually, it's going to be 4 streets.
4 streets.
That are impacted, because remember, Clarendon Day is sort of a partner with Pacers Clarendon Day 5K, 10K Kids Dash.
Okay.
Which is over at Market Common. And that closes Wilson Boulevard, you know, all the way through Roslyn in the morning.
Okay.
But then that will reopen. In Clarendon itself, Clarendon Boulevard, Wilson Boulevard will be closed from Washington down to Garfield. In the morning, Garfield's going to be closed for the Pacers run. And North Highland closes from Washington Boulevard up to the church at Clarendon.
Okay. So probably the best transportation option then for folks who want to attend the festival is to really take advantage of art and the metro and so on.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you agree?
Yes, and one of the things we're going to do this year is, because the police are doing a street closure in Garfield, we're going to make that an Uber/Lyft drop-off area for people. So that's where everybody will wind up, just right at the event.
Wonderful.
If they take that.
Very good. So we've really enjoyed this conversation. And if I could recap our key takeaways, Clarendon Day is the 17th of September. There are going to be lots of fun activities for everyone. The Alliance needs volunteers, and tickets can be purchased for folks who want to.
Not quite yet,
Not
but
quite
they
yet.
will be. VIP tickets will be up on the website, I would say, by Friday.
Wonderful. And so as we come to the end of our conversation, tell our viewers and listeners again about the website and where they can find more information about Clarendon Day and the Clarendon Alliance.
Sure. The Clarendon Alliance website is easy to remember. It's clarendon.org. And Clarendon Day is easy too. clarendonday.org.
Very good. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. We've come to the end of our conversation with Matt Hussmann. This is it for this edition of Local Time. Please join us again next time.